Hello everyone, this is Genius Yoshi, and today we are building Pack Tactics, the surprise attack deck that tries to gain lore off of our opponent's damaged characters to close out the game out of nowhere and take our opponent by surprise. Sounds fun. So, Pack Tactics gains us lore if the opponent has a wide board of damaged characters, which means that we want the game to go moderately long. We don't want to take out our opponent's threat or be into a one-to-one trade situation, and we need to mass ping. So let's start with a mass ping card, because we kind of need those for a strategy. Best in class, we have Tinkerbell, Giant Fairy, 4/5. Everyone should be familiar with Tinkerbell at this point. She rocks the boat and does a great job, and will continue to do a great job even when there's 3, maybe 4, and who knows how many sets we're still going to be seeing Tinkerbell until she gets power creeped out. But that's not the point of today. The point of today is she pings for 1, which enables Pack Tactics. We're also going to be playing 2 copies of Grab Your Sword, the song that pings everything for 2 and hopefully doesn't kill them off in this situation. Well, I guess depending on the situation, we might want to just kill off some of our opponent's character, banish them to another land. And our other mass pinger is going to be Chief Bogo, the respected officer that just pings our opponent's board for 1 anytime we play a Floodborn character. If you Tinkerbell, that means double pings for 1. It's kind of a grab your sword style ability, multiple Bogo stack, and you can do some pretty fun stuff with that too. Although right now our goal is not necessarily to wipe out our opponent's board. But to do that, we need Floodborn characters. So we're going to be looking at Floodborn characters. Beast Tragic Hero, always an all-star. Floodborn character takes care of some of our card draw problems, I should say. So we'll be playing a full playset of him. We also want some cheaper options. Donald Duck Perfect Gentleman I do like in this deck because he's a Floodborn, he has big stats, and he quests for quite a bit. So between Donald Duck and the Beast Tragic Hero, they both fill some of our card draw void in the deck and enable us to draw those cards while being Floodborns. Another cheap Floodborn character is Jafar Dreadnought, also helps us to draw some cards, helps us with board presence, and he's Floodborn. So, pretty good package there. If we're going to be playing the big Jafar, we're going to be playing the small Jafar. Let's go for full playsets at this time. Just a nice card in the current metagame, unless you're facing Let the Storm Rage On. That deals well with Madam and Fox, deals well with Madam and Snake, and 3 power is a critical number right now. So if we're going to be dealing with threats this way, Captain Hook, another good removal style ability to ensure that we get to the mid to late game. So we have some Floodborn, we have some card draw, we have the pings. What else do we want to do with this deck? Well, we want to pressure. We don't want to just control out our opponent and then win more with a pack tactic while we could just quest for victory. We want to fight off the opponent and trade, which means we can't fall behind too much on lore, which means we need lore pressure cards. So we're going to be looking at some of those. I do like Enchantress, Unexpected Judge, because she hits that 3 power on the swing back or when she gets challenged, and she's a 2-quester, so she punishes the opponents quite a bit for challenging her. I like Benja, nice toolbox option against these pesky items, also a nice 2-quester that we can add. There is the Prince in the tree drop slot, if I can find him. The Prince never gives up, 2-quester, bodyguard, resist, just lots of beefy stats. Juicy stats that we like to add into our deck. I'll play some Smash because, again, 3 damage, 3 power, kind of a nice number in the current state of the metagame. And we're also going to be playing one of our good old friends, Mr. Kuzco, Temperamental Emperor. Still very strong, one of the best in class in terms of questing fast type of threats. Which brings us to the following list. Actually, let's turn it out. 3 Kuzcos. Want to be careful about our non-inkables. We already have 4 Bogos, 2 Grab Your Swords and 3 Kuzcos bring us to 9. Actually, 9 is pretty conservative. We can probably afford the 4th Kuzco, but let's keep it at 3 for now. What else do we want to add? We have some nice early game. I'm happy with playing the Hook, 4 Enchantress, and 4 Jafars. Our mid game with the Benja Smash, and it's where we set up a Chief Bogo or a Donald Duck in play. And then in our late game, we want to get a Tinkerbell out, the Beast. So I think curve-wise, we have pretty much everything we want to play. Which means at this point, we're just looking for nice inkable cards that are decent top decks in the late game. So let's go and find some 5 or 6 drop inkable cards that we like. I do really like John Silver in this deck. He's a 2-quester, somewhat control-ish, and still keeps the opponent characters on the board. So let's play some copies of him. And we can play 3 copies of Beast Relentless. We already have a bunch of pinging cards in our deck, so Beast Relentless can also make use of these cards to just quest and quest again or spam challenge, depending on the board stays and how you're feeling. And that completes our deck list. So our pack is ready. We have lots of tactics. All that remains is to put the deck in action with some games coming right up. We are playing against Steel Amethyst. Let's see what kind of tactics we can use to defeat that deck. Have Jafar, Bogo, Grab Your Sword, Tinkerbell. A bit too many uninkables. Send back Grab Your Sword and... Actually, we're going first. So let's send back Grab Your Sword and Bogo. Let's go with the aggressive Kuzco line. Rest seems fine. Pack Tactics and a Benja. Start by inking that Smash. Tragic Hero makes its way to the ink pile. The opponent has a Captain Hook to apply some pressure. We'll ink ours in favor of the Enchantress. Very nice 2-quester that's a bit problematic against Tinkerbell. And those mass pinging for 1. But in general, it's pretty strong. The opponent bounces back the Hook with the Madam Min. Do I want to play the Benja or the Jafar here? I think the Jafar plays better. Benja would just be a sitting duck. So I'm going to ink the Benja, play the Jafar. Quests for less, but he trades better with the Fox and the Snake. And the other relentless animals our opponent is going to put in our face to try and defeat us. And now the Captain Hook goes back to the ink. But our 3-powered characters are looking pretty good until the storm rages and Enchantress found her weakness, lightning. She must have been water type or something. Let the storm rage on. Still a good card. Let's ink or tink. And we'll trade Jafar with Madam and Snake. I don't want to give the opponent too many opportunity to bounce stuff back and forth. And we'll resolve a Donald Duck, keeping the pressure on. Like a gentleman. Opponent goes after the goat. Let's go for the double draw. Opponent has more cards in hand, so it's advantageous for us to try and catch up. Find another copy of Pack Tactics, which could be interesting. Holding on to double Pack Tactics. Start questing with the duck. Opponent's best move is probably Merlin hits Donald. Madam and Fox bounce Merlin. Fox hits Donald, take it out. Then we'll respond with Tinkerbell, take out Fox. I'm okay if that's the line that ends up being played, although I would like to keep the card draw going. I'm also interested in the opponent just going wide and then we just ping, get ready for some pack tactics. We get a draw 2. So Donald lives. We find John Silver. Okay. That's interesting. That's quite interesting indeed. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can go to 11 off of it. We can force Maleficent into combat. I'd like to keep all of my opponent's characters alive. Resolve the Tinkerbell next turn. Opponent can quest for 3. Goes up to 7. Yeah, we can afford 2 turns. But we need double inkables for this to work. So that we can double pack tactic. I think it's worth the gamble. Actually, we're denying the Maleficent. That's even better. So our opponent can only quest for 2. Thanks to John Silver's ability. Of course, the opponent has Min style shenanigans, so there's always the option of bouncing back some of their stuff. Speaking of which, here comes the Fox. Bouncing back to Maleficent. Maleficent will get replayed. Draw off of Donald. Find another Donald. With the double draw, we do have a very good chance of landing our inkables. We have enough. Here comes Tinkerbell. Ping everything for 1. The trap is set. Now I just need the opponent not to do anything too crazy, or even worse, play a whole new world and earn good business. Grab your sword number 1. Hardcast. Oh yeah, the opponent doesn't have a good singer for it. So unless there's like 2 or 3 Let the Storm Rage on, we should be in good shape. I mean, that's 8, gets us to 12. 13, well, 12, and then plus 9 brings us to 21. We actually can't lose a character. Maybe I've been trying to set up the combo a bit too much. Probably should have been questing a little bit, but then the pack tactics just don't have the same impact. And this is all about highlighting pack tactics, right? Opponent is questing. That's a good sign. Turn passes back to us. We got it. We got it. Inca Cobra. And that is 2, 4. Trigger that doesn't matter. 6. Plus 3, 13. Pack tactics. Let's gain some 4 lore. Pack tactic. Surprise, opponent. We have won the game off of double pack tactics. And that's how it's done. We're playing a mirror match. Although I don't think the opponent is playing a pack tactics deck. Bogo, Tinkerbell, Donald, Silver, Benja. and pack tactics. Going first, this is super slow. It has a lot of inkables, has Chief Bogo. I'm gonna keep this on a whim. I probably shouldn't. But I already clicked the button. So this is what I'm playing. Start by inking Mr. John. This type of thing you can only do playing first, keeping nothing but a 3-drop. Is the opponent playing mill? Every time I see a Donald Duck, it's the first thing I think about. It's a discard style deck. We find a Jafar. Alright. I'm gonna ink my Benja. I know I'm sacrificing my turn 3 play, but I really want to play that pack tactics. And I want to play a Chief Bojo, and Bojo goes well with Donald Duck. Although I guess Beast is a Floodborn character. So I'm probably going to eat that duck next. Duck à l'orange, as they say. Not sure who they is. Opponent quests with the Flynn Rider, so we can take it out freely with Jafar. I don't overly care about that Flynn, so I'm going to ink my Smash and do nothing other than free combat. Bucky, definitely a discard deck. The other option would have been to smash the Flynn. Where's the fun in that? When we can Bogo them to death. Another smash. I'm already throwing them away, so might as well continue with the game plan. And Bogo. Where is Chief Bogo? There it is. Robin Hood. Opponent's getting ready for some pings. But so are we. Flynn's are questing. We find a prince. Prince is not really what I'm looking for right now. Instead, I'm going to land a beast. And ping everything with the chief. Including that Bucky. That was oh so threatening. Quest to the Jafar. And quest to the Chief Bogo. The opponent doesn't have anything really damaging. And I must say that Tinkerbell next turn is going to be oh so yummy. Wipe out everything your opponent has on board. Although we do have a pack tactics. I do want to play pack tactics, which is a difficult ask. Stealing damage without blowing up our opponent's board. It doesn't happen that often. Well, we found ourselves a Benja, which is perfect inkable target. Play the Tinkerbell. Ping everything into oblivion. And quest for quite a bit. I'll pass the turn back. 11-9. Opponent's going to make us draw some extra cards thanks to Donald Duck's ability. I will pick up a grab your sword. Ooh. If the opponent deploys a character or two on that board, grab your sword into pack tactics. Might win us the game on the spot. What am I looking for? Donald. Opponent has their own plan with a grab your sword, hitting our characters in the face. Opponent takes out Bogo, but Donald's still alive. Alright, well, gonna play our own copy of the Donald Duck. On quest. I'll pass the turn back. 13. If Donald sacrifices itself against something, we still have that pack tactic. Or just more stuff on board. Maybe pack tactics is a win more card. That's okay, because we want to win more right now. Tinkerbell pings all our stuff without dealing any real sort of damage. Donald hits us. Find another Donald Duck. Opponent draws an extra card off of it as well. Captain Hook. Not really what I'm looking for. We can land a pair of Donald Ducks. I think we just pass the turn here. Don't want to give the opportunity for the opponent to Tinkerbell our Donald and ping our Beast. I feel like that would be suboptimal. Now we're threatening quest for 8. So the opponent has to stop that. Everything's at the ready, so a removal spell is required. Which I think is harder for the opponent. Just keep on demanding removal spells. Opponent has it. Grabs their sword and just pings us. Maybe we'll need our finisher. Our flashy finish. Let's draw some extra cards, thanks to the Donald Ducks. Find another Beast, which is pretty good. We quest all the way to 19. We can finish it. Grab your sword, to the Tinkerbell, pack tactics, gain 1 lore. The wombo combo over the top, really not necessary finish, using pack tactics. We are playing against Steel Amber. Let's see what we can do. And if we can apply some pack tactics to take out our opponent. Find 1 copy of pack tactics. This is probably a songs deck. We'll keep 1 Benja just in case. Chief Bogo's a nice pickup. Actually, yeah, I'd like a 2-drop. So I'm going to mulligan Benja and Beast. And Tinkerbell. Alright. Find another Benja. We do find the 2-drop Enchantress. And a Chief Bogo. Gonna ink up one of these Benjas, land Captain, and pass the turn back. Captain Hook, still a staple as one of the most powerful 1-drops when it turns to taking down characters. Opponent goes Hercules, trying to fight Strength with Herculean Strength. Gonna ink our Tink, land an Enchantress, and pass the turn. As that Hercules is just a vanilla 2/3. Which means the opponent is probably playing one of these lists that tries to shift into the bigger Hercules. So while this one is really just the vanilla, you have to be careful about the Shift 4 6/3 resist 2 Hercules. That could very well be coming our way. With that Hercules, I keep a Benja or the Prince. Actually, I'm playing it this turn, so I think it's going to have to be a Prince. Do I want a bodyguard? No, I don't want a bodyguard. I want to quest with Enchantress and leverage her ability to punish the opponent from challenging her. Except that the opponent does shift into a bigger Hercules. That would be a bit problematic. Enchantress becomes 3-1 while attacked. Pretty decent ability. Here he comes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah for the opponent. Not great for us. Because Herc has got the moves. He can attack Enchantress and take only 1 point of damage. For some reason, the opponent decides to trade Prince Eric. Not sure why. Maybe because the opponent wants to quest for more with the mighty divine hero. Or sing grab your sword. I'm okay with the singing grab your sword, but if you're going to do that, keep Prince Eric alive. Oh well, misplays happen. And we will move on and take the win and apply a Chief Bogo to the battlefield. Fortunately, that Hercules is going to prevent us from doing any kind of questing. And Bogo's not great against Hercules, because playing a Floodborn character does nothing. Hercules is just pretty good against what we're playing. Sleepy's Flute comes in, making me regret throwing away that Benja. We find a big beast. I do want to play Pack Tactic, but when the opponent only has a Hercules, I'm sorry, this just isn't your game. We'll land a Kuzco though. And that's it. Kuzco's a threatening threat to threaten Hercules. As if the opponent chooses to challenge it, it's going to go down. Tinkerbell comes in, pings all our characters. What to do, what to do. Can resolve a Relentless Beast. Which I think is what we want. I'd like to ink that second Bogo. Tinkerbell, even if she takes out Kuzco, doesn't have any overly nice pings. So maybe I just ink the Jafar, land a beast, then quest with Kuzco. Trying to catch up in the race. Tinkerbell goes after Kuzco. She can ping something for 2, but with the resist on the prince, any of my threats live. If Hercules goes after Kuzco, I'd be actually happier. I have a Relentless Beast in play. It's a pretty strong card, especially in the stallish board like this. If an opposing character is damaged, we may ready it. Again, Hercules with his resist 2 is a problematic threat. Better than a 7-drop Cinderella, I must say. I would have very little recourse to that Cinderella. An opponent does nothing. Alright. Well, if that's the way you want to play, going to quest Kuzco, quest with the beast, play Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell will ping Tinkerbell, and Bogo trigger. Fortunately, this isn't magic, so we can't ready beast between the triggers of pinging Tinkerbell. And we threaten winning on the next turn. Honestly, there's not much the opponent can do about it. So I'll just pass the turn back. A Relentless beast might have been relentless, but right now it's safe. Opponent would need a double grab your sword type of situation. Sing one off of Hercules, Tinkerbell hits Kuzco, pings beast, second grab your sword. Something of the sort. Let the storm rage on. Pings the beast, draw a card. That's okay. Whole new world. Opponent sings it. Running out of resources though, as there's only a singing Tinkerbell and 4 ink left available to our opponent, when we do have a pack tactic. That could prove useful, as we have a winning board already set up. Maybe I should be playing a handful of whole new worlds. Find the pack tactics and then boom, surprise the opponent with a burst of lore. Although just playing big stuff has been a pretty good strategy for us so far. Hercules just not pulling his weight. Or not enough. Really need to show the picture of Hercules as I say this. Not pulling his weight. Another Let the Storm Rage On is going to take out our beast. And our opponent will live to play another turn. Flute comes in. Alright. So what do we do here? I think we quest with the gang. Put in more threats. Something like a Donald Duck is hard for the opponent to deal with. Play a Benja. Take out that pesky flute. It's one of the reasons why we're playing Benja. To make our opponent pay. I'll send away a Jafar. And I'll land Donald Duck. 5 willpower is difficult for Steel to deal with. And ping that Hercules for 0 again, Bogo. Ping it like you mean it. Donald's going to make us draw more cards. Just in case that whole new world wasn't enough. 16-7. The opponent can't deal with our oppressive board, and we take the game. We're playing against Steel Sapphire. Let's see what the opponent is planning to ramp to. So Steel Sapphire means the opponent has AoE damage removal as well as you get into ink removal styles. Have a nice 2-3 type of curve with a pack tactic on 4. Seems like a good hand. And we're going first, so we're going to keep it as is. We'll start by inking the beast. And I'll pass the turn back. Opponent goes with a hook. Make sure that you remain entertained in this video as we ink our Tinkerbell and land an Enchantress. It's always important to have good hooks to make sure that the audience remains attentive. Or maybe enchanting the audience would work? I don't know. I'm not the unexpected judge of that. Second Captain Hook for our opponent. So we draw another John Silver. Silver will bite the dust. Don't really want a bodyguard with the prince. I can quest with the Enchantress. I'm fine with that. Gonna get a trade with the Captain. There's also an argument for just keeping everything our opponent has alive, dropping a Tinkerbell, playing the pack tactic, and letting it go to town. Ooh, we need a poo. Sounds a fun one. I don't see it every day. Winnie, where are you? So whenever you quest, you may put a card from your hand onto your inkwell face down. Turn 4. I do want to play something. So I'm going to ink John. Play the Enchantress. I can challenge Hook, and then if Hook doesn't damage our Prince, if Hook tries to swing back, Prince lives, and then Winnie would have to challenge it. And if Winnie's challenging, Winnie's not inking. So have fun with that. Let's go deal our 1 point of damage with the Prince. And with our resist 1, well, we don't take any damage. Strength for Raging Fire. Whenever I see that card, I just have to start singing the song in my head. Be a man. Although they'd probably have to change the lyrics of that song nowadays. But the tune was just awesome. If you're also into anime, so many anime music videos have been made with that song. Alright, turn passes back. I'll get to land a beast. We can quest here. Quest with the Prince. Quest with the Enchantress. And the worst that the opponent can do is Hook, Winnie, and then Sisu attacks the Enchantress, surviving with 1, and then Tinkerbell next turn kind of blows them out of the water. And the opponent should deal with Beast, otherwise we're going to draw a lot of cards. So I'm expecting to let it go on Beast. It's a little too early for Mr. Hades to come see play. Opponent can't sing A Whole New World, so I think it's safe enough. Opponent activates Sisu, finds a card. Such a strong ability if that thing resolves. If Sisu had slightly better stats, he would see so much more play. Look at the top 2 cards, put 1 to your hand, and the other one at the bottom. Now opponent tinks. That hurts. Taking out Enchantress, dealing with Beast's awesome ability. Opponent sings Strength for Raging Fire. Takes down the Beast completely. Yep, that hurts quite a lot. Find a second copy of Pack Tactics. So you can go to 8 off of the Prince. You can ping everything for 1, which unfortunately takes down Hook. But we need to ink something. That's such a shame, though. The opponent requests for 2, 4, 6, 7. Goes to 13. Yeah, I need to land a Tinkerbell. Otherwise, I will simply lose. So Tinkerbell will get the landing. Having our Tinkerbell at the ready and nothing for opponent to challenge makes it hard for opponent to justify a challenge. Mostly afraid of Let It Go or Hades at this point. Whole New World. just when we had a good board to resolve pack tactics. Opponent says, no, I don't think so. Let's reset. And of course we don't draw another one. Alright, well, we'll send the Enforcer then. Chief Bogo. Or play another Tinkerbell. Actually, this is probably a Tinkerbell board. So the opponent quests and fetches a lot of cards. A lot of ink, thanks to Mr. Winnie the Pooh. Smash or Tink. And inks to let it go. So the opponent is winning the ink war. And it has a lot of lore. Well, we're going to take out Tinkerbell. We can ping out Winnie or damage Sisu. Also have another Tinkerbell. So we can mostly wipe out our opponent's board. Which I think we mostly need to do. Tinkerbell number 2. Here we go. Tinkerbell fights Tinkerbell. I get the priority of the damage to take out Sisu. And I'll take out Winnie as well. And we'll land a captain to wrap up our turn. Fortunately, that Tinkerbell was our only Floodborn, so Chief Bogo's not going to get his time in the limelight. Those Sisus, though, are getting a lot of playtime. And Bell, super threatening with this board. Opponent with 9 ink. Oof. Actually, I should highlight Bell. It was such a great card with the first chapter, and nothing has changed much. She's still a great card, just a little underplayed. Ooh, and we find Cobra. Mr. Cobra is fantastic here. Because we get to go Bogo Cobra. Ping everything our opponent owns for 1. Tinkerbell has to take down... Do we have to take down Sisu? That's 5, 6, 7. Yes, we do have to take out Sisu. We won't ping Bell. Apply a little bit of protection and quest with Captain Hook. Because we can. 9 of 12. Close game. Now here, our Tinkerbell is somewhat protected. Opponent forgot to ink a card before questing with Bell. One should be at 17. Don't do that in the tournament, folks. Yeah, Hades will take out our Tinkerbell. This is a problem. 1 jump ahead. Opponent had plenty of ways of getting cards into the ink pool. Find another Chief Bogo. This opponent has 2-4 here. We do need to take out Bell. And if the opponent was at 19, we need to take out Boat. Can I play for that? Probably not. I can try to play the current board. Should I try to play the board where the opponent has 19? If I would have to do it, I would probably have to attack Bell with Jafar. So let's start with that. We draw. Find a hook. Not what we're looking for. So the opponent can quest for 4. I'd probably just drop double Kuzco on the current board. Quest with everything I've got. Now the opponent needs to deal with 2 unexerted Kuzco. But honestly, I'd be losing to Bell. And because of that tempo swing, well, that's probably what it's gonna be. One would need double grab your sword to get out of this. Starts with a whole new world. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Double grab your sword wipes out everything we've got. Opponent doesn't have it, then loses to the misplay. And our pair of Kuzcos. Fun game nonetheless. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and decklist featuring pack tactics. In particular, I was really happy to get that game 1 recorded, where we got a beautiful display of just pack tactics out of nowhere for 8 to win the game. Just really enjoy these types of combos. I'd like to see the opponent's face and hope that they've enjoyed it as much as we did. Well, probably less because they were on the other side of the table. But still, it's nice when the opponent pulls off something quirky like that and takes us by surprise, especially when it's not something that's overpowered. Overall, Pack Tactics feels okay as a surprise card. It probably ends up getting inked most of the time. I personally prefer it as a flex spot in some decks where you're expecting to ink it, but then you can use it as a flashy finisher if you need it. That 1 game out of 10 when it does become useful. As for the rest of the list, I really like the Bogo style of lines. Bogo into Tinkerbell with a couple of grab your swords is very good control for wide boards. Not the best against Ruby Amethyst that sticks with a couple of characters, but if the metagame swings to more character heavy boards, then this style of strategy is actually pretty decent. Again, I hope you've had a great time. Let me know in the comments below which question I should be asking you to put in the comments below. Does that make sense? Doesn't quite make sense? I think you understood. If you understood, let me know in the comments below and pose the question that I should be asking you now to post the answer to in the comments below. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.